Hey guys, my name is Rakesh Sahani. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video I am going to show you how to create CRUD APIs for your project or whenever you require to use this. So start with creating a API to store the data inside your database table. So let's start. So first of all we are going to restructure this package because I need some new ones and removing the old controller and the old entity file hello, just using delete and remove it. Another one is hello controller. So I am creating package with the name of service, where we create an interface for implementing or writing a business logic. So how will we implement this? Inside this package name service impl, or you can say it as well service implementation. Another package name is util. Util package is used for like creating common function or constants you can write inside in this package. So another package name is repository. So in SpringBoot, the repository provides you the function like JPA CRUD repositories, JP repositories. These two repositories you will need to create, read, update or delete APIs. So I am writing this repository. So we have controller, repository, service implementation. Another one is DTO. So why we use DTO? DTO is used for data transfer object. So I will tell you in this project how we will do that and also why we require, because if you are doing a project, so you always need to keep in mind doing best practices. So let's start with repository. Create interface with the name of register repository. So first of all we need to alternate with the repository. It also a type function, or you can say special type annotation, and extend with JP repository. JPA repository, and now add register entity. Here is integer type. Why we use this? So we have to like use register entity class for storing our data inside tables. Then we require these parameters, right? So that's why we use here. And how will identify the object? So initial ID with the integer type or the string type, it will identify. So mentioned here integer type. So another class we write also a interface inside your service class. So we write here register service. Okay, service class. Now create one function, public string add. Created this function with object register entity. See, Now create function inside service implementation. Create class register service impl and implement this class will implement this service class register service and add this annotation service here. So override the service methods here and also create one function one class here in your controller to handle your APIs, like the path of your API will return over there. So everyone having the class and interface in this package. And another one is class constant. Okay. So start with constant. First we do make some constant name here. Generate it. This one. Let's start. Public static final string created equal to data inserted. Same for others, like data created, updated or deleted or invalid. For invalid, deleted, updated. Invalid data remove, data updated. And one more, data not found. So constants were created. Now start with your business logic here. So initially first we do create a function like if register anti object is not equal to null. Null, then return constant. Dot invalid. Okay. Now you want to save your data. So first of all we need to auto wire the register repository for using JP repository inbuilt functions. So auto wired, then write private register repository okay, then call it here. So let's call this one register repository dot save and pass this object here, and let's pass again constant if your data was successfully submitted. Constant created. Okay, so you wrote the business logic. Now how to call this one? So let's create API here. So first of all we have to mark this class as a controller class, so import REST controller and create post mapping with name of path add, and pass this object public function name register entity add. Now you have to import request body here. So what will do request body? So whenever you pass your data through Postman or somewhere else, so you need to call it here. So like I just change this first and call this one here request body register entity and create his object. So whenever I will call this path and pass the register object data, then it will get it. So start with return register service. So like in previous service class we auto-add the register repository, same like we will do for service class here. Private register service register service. So call it here dot add and pass this object. So our API create API is ready for use. So first of all just we need to change here, because whenever you use create, so it always drop your class table name and create new one and data will removed. So just change this to validate and save it. Okay, so already removed this one. Now go to controller class, run this. So let's check your API is created or not. So code is executed and running. So let's test it. So I'm just removing this API, passing the body. So earlier, so same thing like here you have to pass these names. So start with So you don't need to pass ID because it will auto generate by Hibernate JPA. So first name, last name and address you have to pass it here. First name dev, last name Lider, address localhost. So our object is ready. Now send this. Oh sorry. So our data is inserted. So now check it inside the database table. See, ID is automatically generated by localhost, address, first name, last name. But when you see the object in response, you will get its data inserted. Is not good for your front end manipulation, because whenever you create APIs, try to do as much as possible your logics in backend, so front end member or front end developer will do less work to manipulate or bind this object easily. They don't do overwork there as well. So let's make some changes here. We need this class as object class. So first of all, we create this as a object node. Okay, also change this in service simple. Save. Now make some changes here. Now create one class here for like common function. Because here I am getting the string type, but I want an object to bind the easily. So I am creating one function to manipulate the string and convert into a object. So start with public static object node string into string to object node, string to object node converter, or remove this, no need, and pass this string response. Okay, so import this object. Now create with object mappers. So object mapper will have to create a node type and bind inside your node or your object. Okay, now create object node. Response node. Mapper dot create object node method. Okay, now if response is equal to false, then response node will insert the data. So create this response and put here response. Okay, so your custom function is ready to use. So let's use inside your function. Do you need to change something here? So like return custom common function, common function dot string to object, pass this function here. Same for create. Now like our return type is object node, so we need to change also your controller. So just need to make some simple changes. Object node equal to node. So we need to. So now test our API. Is it working or not? Let's see. Just pass here dev rider. Have you seen our response object is created, but this is not the right way. We have to make some more changes in this also, in our controller, also in our service file, because we can't use directly our entity class. So that's why DTO comes in the picture. Let's create DTO, register info DTO. Same object like for register DTO info will created here and data. So just remove this. So our DTO is created. Now let's make some changes here. First of all, in our first we need to make some changes in our controller class. We need to use response entity, our return type here. So why we use response entity? Response entity helps to send HTTP status code in your return type. So like I'm changing, just making some small changes here. Return new request entity. So pass your node and your status type. So our status type is OK. You have other status type like accepted, created or OK. So we can use here created as well or OK as well. So I'm using OK. So save. Now we have to use DTO. So make some changes here. Instead of register entity, we have to use DTO here. Register info DTO. Pass this DTO and copy this for your service class as well to make some changes in your service class as well. So our service class. So in this function we have to use another method called so another method for copying your DTO to your entity. So the method is used here is bean util. Bean util is also a method provided by Spring framework for copying the property one object to other object, like here source to target. So we already have DTO, but we don't have here a register entity. So let's call your create register object, register entity object here equal to new register entity. So pass register info copy, see, if register entity is equal to null, then what will do? So just make some few changes here, not equal to null. Change this statement line with this and this. See, what's here? Must avoid the function. Oh, so save, save, save. Object node and pass this here. Let's see. Is it done? Response entity object node comma http s dot. Okay. So I think some issue with the literals. So our API is created, now test it. How is it working? So I'm making our API is created. Let's test it. See, data is created and now status type. If I will change instead of OK to created, is so how the response entity helps you here making these changes. See, your data is storing. Now check. See, your status code is changed. Instead of 200 you will get a 201 created. So thanks for watching this video. Do smash on subscribe button, like button and share also.